Roger Stone here for Colonial Metals Group. Colonial Metals Group helps Americans protect their future with the most trusted store of wealth in human history. That's actual physical gold and silver. If you're retiring or you're retired, go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/stone right now for your free Roger Stone Colonial Metals Group Retirement Protection Kit. Or call 800-747-6589. That's 800-747-6589. Call now to receive your free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver.
77 WABC. This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
No, I get by with a little help from my friends. The preacher talked with me and he smiled. Said, come and walk with me. Come and walk one more mile. Now for once in your life, you're alone. But you ain't got a dime. There's no time for the fool. I just gotta get a message to you. Hold on, hold on. One more hour and my life will be through. Hold on,
I like it, Louis. I like it. Louis going classic Bee Gees here, not the Saturday Night Fever Bee Gees. Classic Bee Gees because Curtis loves the Bee Gees. A reminder, President Trump in New York today, big speech on the economy. Nice appearance last night with Sean Hannity on Fox News. He was funny. He said even if you give Harris the questions before, it's still not going to help her. So he's going to be in New York this morning, and a young lady who worked for him for years, also worked with Andrew Giuliani, who's a brilliant economic mind, Joanna Wisher, will make her debut on this show live in studio coming up at 8:15. Craig Carton talking NFL, Bill O'Reilly, Jeff Lax, and, of course, right now the man. Great ratings on the Rip and Read, noon to 1, every weekday afternoon. Big ratings overnight weekends, and does a great job with me right here. And we actually talked quite a bit yesterday, me and the icon, the legend, Mr. Guardian Angel Curtis Sliwa, because there's so much going on, man. The students at Columbia getting terrorized outside the deli. That's the Jeff Lax story. Jews getting terrorized. Where is Eric Adams? Curtis, not one but two appearances throughout New York yesterday. And now, you're not going to believe this, but Curtis, in Tucker Carlson fashion, actually spoke to Vladimir Putin yesterday.
Oh, yeah. But by the way, that was such a funny line by President Trump. He not only said, I don't know if it's going to help her if she gets the questions, even if she gets the answers.
He said that,
question,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got to play it. Now you brought it up, I got to do
so
it.
Good.
Here
Come
it
on,
is.
Sid.
I got to play it. You're right. Here is Donald Trump. This is cut number 2, Lewis, courtesy of Sean Hannity and Fox News last night.
We're going to watch very closely, but you're not allowed to do it. We even have a clause in the contract. You can't give them the questions, but I'm not sure it's going to help her that much, though. I think you might give her the questions and give her the answers with the questions. I'm not sure it's going to help her.
The best, the absolute best. Way to go, President Trump.
By the way, I saw your lead story, so beautiful. Here they try to revive Russian disinformation again. Putin is going to try to sway votes for Trump. And I'm saying to myself, that didn't work the last time. 51 former and present national security advisors who said that Hunter Biden's laptop was all Russian disinformation. Psych, you were wrong then, you're wrong now. Except, I do agree that Putin would want Trump to win.
Now, why do you agree that he would want Trump to win? Because we know this. The media, when they say Trump and Putin are friends, see why Donald Trump is such a genius is. He realizes this. Sometimes, you know this too, you got to keep your enemies closer than your friends. So if he has to say hi to a guy in North Korea or a guy in China or a guy in Russia, that doesn't mean he's friends with them. What it means is, oh, I'll be okay until you F me. So why would you think Putin would want Trump to win when clearly Putin was afraid of Trump because he invaded Crimea with Barack Obama. He invaded Ukraine with Joe Biden, but he did nothing when Trump was in office.
Well, thank God you're here, Sid, because you keep all my enemies close to you to prevent them from killing me.
That's true.
But let me explain this. Putin is in a quagmire with the Ukraine. I mean, they're just killing each other like there's no tomorrow. He knows he's got to get out of it. So does Zelensky, right? Putin wants to go back to stealing from all the oligarchs. Zelensky wants this war to continue so he can keep stealing from us all our money.
A lot of money.
So if Trump gets elected, Trump can be like Teddy Roosevelt. People don't realize that in 1904, Russia went to war with Japan, and they were knocking each other out. That's how Japan came in international power. Teddy Roosevelt intervened, made the peace, won the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, we know Trump can make the peace, but they'll never give him a Nobel Peace Prize. But it's better.
He should have got one already for the Abraham Accords.
Right. It's better that it be done with. Putin did not do what he thought he could do, which is to turn all the Ukraine into speed bumps. So let somebody go in there, negotiate the peace, and this way Zelensky stops picking our pockets like he's doing now. Oh, he'd want this war to go on continuously.
Forever. Checks, they keep coming. Almost like, let me give you an analogy. The checks for Zelensky keep coming. Almost like the checks from Red China.
Oh, my God. The red envelopes. Remember, it's the red envelopes stuffed with cash. So instead of talking about hackers for Harris, because we know President Xi and the Red Chinese they want the Stuna to become president of the United States, Giggles Harris. They don't want Trump back in office.
No.
And the Red Chinese are 10 times more potent. In fact, they have a group called Hackers for Harris. They're going to do everything to try to get her elected. And with the news cycle being all Red Chinese all the time, they have a press conference about Russian disinformation.
Seriously.
Please, that's 2016.
Right.
This is 2024. It's
right.
Red China, stupid.
I mean, I had Gordon Chang back on the show yesterday for the first time in 2 months because the biggest story coming out of the biggest media market in the world, New York City, was Linda's son somehow working for both Governor Andrew Cuomo and Governor Kathy Hochul.
But bigger than that is Coach, right? The scarecrow from Minnesota, right?
Who's losing in Minnesota, Walls.
30 times he traveled to Red China. He praises Red China. He even had his honeymoon in Tiananmen Square, right? This sort of reminds me of Bernie the Altakaka Sanders, who had his honeymoon in the Soviet Union. Comrade Bill de Blasio, who has his honeymoon in Havana. But let's talk.
Wait, what do all three of those guys have in common?
Well, they didn't get no money in Cuba, didn't get no money in the Soviet Union, but boy, you better believe Tim Walsh got all those red envelopes when he went to Red China.
True, but all three of those guys are communists.
Oh, no doubt.
And when I've got Jorge Masvidal on this show like I did 2 days ago, who's loved and revered literally by millions and millions of people, welterweight UFC champ, President Trump loves him, and he says to me that the biggest danger we're facing today is the possibility of electing Harris, a communist, as president of the United States. All those guys have the same in common.
And if you were to ask Comrade Bill de Blasio, Bernie the Altakaka Sanders, and the scarecrow Tim Walsh, Coach, what is their favorite book? They wouldn't say the Bible. They'd say the Little Red Book, right? The Cultural Revolution. But let's get down to Linda's son here, who, again, was chief of staff to Congresswoman Meng. How do you explain that, Congresswoman Meng? Was the Asian liaison for Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, going out there to get the red envelopes, putting them in the booster bag for Cuomo, and then got a promotion, deputy chief of staff for Hochul. So why is this? So I asked Nancy, as you know, to do the deep dive. And boy, she did the deep dive. So when Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo was governor, you know, when the Cuomo-sexuals were watching the PowerPoint every afternoon with their new tots at the cafe and biscuit.
Wow, he's got very big hands, Curtis.
I know, but he was also flexing his the ring that was to his nipple, the nipple ring. He got all excited, right? They're all excited. The women
I'm going to say
wearing
this.
the depends.
I will say this about him, okay? When you meet him, and I have many times, he is charismatic. He's good looking. He's got big hands. So you can almost understand why the women were at home loving this guy.
Well, the 11 of his staff women, they said, yeah, he's got big hands. Problem is, he had them all over me. Anyway, let's talk about medical supplies. So here it is, Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, right, talking about, hey, we need medical supplies, right? We need masks, we need gloves, we need respirators, we need inhalers. Well, who went into business right there with her husband and formed an LLC called, now get this, Medical Supplies, capital U, small s, small a, to bring in from Red China with the Easy Pass, mask, gloves, respirators, inhalers, and then started to call up all the state hospitals and the state nursing homes. Where did she get that list from, Sid? Of course, Governor Cuomo's office. She made millions. Never was in that business before. Now, where do you think the Medical Supplies USA LLC is?
I'm going to go with China.
No. That brings in all the PPP equipment.
Oh, it's in Chinatown.
No, 980 Alabama Avenue. It's warehouse in East New York. Nancy found it. How do you explain this, Hulko? You didn't know anything about it.
She didn't know. She was betrayed.
Oh, by the way, and you got to listen to the Rip and Read today. The other Red Chinese agent for Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, Winnie Greco. Oh, my God, she was waving the red Chinese flag and she was picking up the red envelopes for him. Stuffed with cash. But let's talk about the FBI. Oh,
let's do that because
here
again, and it's becoming annoying, but it's true. Every time I see a story where the FBI comes up short, like in this Georgia school shooting yesterday, I do think of you. I do. And it's because more than often you've been right. And I told you, I get very frustrated when they do a story and they go, oh, he's been on our radar. Well, what good is it if he's been on your radar where 4 people have to die before we do something about it?
Well, that's like saying the cruise missile was on our radar, but it hit New York City.
Right.
Why didn't you knock it out?
Thank you.
Come on now.
But why don't they, though, Curtis? What is that?
They'll say they don't have enough personnel. And to be honest with you, imagine in this entire country, we have less FBI agents than we do cops in New York City. We have 32,500 cops, not enough cops. We only have 15,000 special agents.
Is that true?
For the whole country.
Is that true?
Yes.
Well, listen, I know why people don't want to be cops, especially in this city. They get treated like crap, not just by civilians and pro-Hamas, but even the politicians, and they get paid crap, and they have no defense, no immunity. What about these agents? It's a bad job?
No, but the point is there's so few, so they can't do everything. I think we gotta double, triple the number. Look, when you have less FBI agents to cover a whole country than you do police officers in New York, and we know we don't have enough police officers.
We're about 8,000 short.
Right. How do you explain that? Now, let's talk about the information that finally came out. The manifesto of Audrey Hale. Many of you say, who's Audrey Hale? Remember in March of 2023, this transgender went into that Bible school, covenant school, that she had gone to when she was a little kid and shot it up and killed 4 kids and 2 adult teachers. Remember
not only do I remember that, but that shooting actually took place not far away from where former, I'm such a sports geek, Tennessee Titans quarterback Steve McNair was murdered in a murder-suicide by his girlfriend right there in Nashville, Tennessee.
And not only that, but where Al Green had the hot grits tossed on his private parts
yes.
at 4 a.m. when his lady said, who the hell were you messing around with? And he goes, no, not hot grits. And he never was able to sing after that. His voice was falsetto. Anyway, so they said, we can't release the manifesto. We can't release the manifesto because, oh, my God, if we release this manifesto, all hell will break loose. I said, oh, you're protecting a transgender, right? Like transgender can't be serial killers like everyone else. Well, finally it leaked out through a conservative website, Tennessee Star. You know what this transgender dedicated these shootings to?
What?
I want my massacre to end in a way that Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold would be proud of. Columbine 1999.
Well, they were the first ones. They started it. Harris and Klebold.
So you were protecting the transgender. Because this way people might say, oh, transgenders can be nut jobs, gun nutnicks too. Why, you don't think we can handle it? As Jack Nicholson said, remember the Tom Cruise in An Officer and a Gentleman? That's right. You can't handle the truth.
Come on.
Trust me. We in America pay the taxes. We raise our kids. You tell us to shut up and mind our business. We got to deal with the ugly truths of our own lives every day, and we handle it. We can handle the truth. And the truth is that you cover up for those that you want to protect, like transgenders. But when it comes to everybody else, evil, evil, evil. And by the way, Dr. Martin Levine, I'm coming after you. That house you got
like
on
this.
Schenectady Avenue and Avenue J boarded up with rats. Dr. Martin Levine, who is he? He's the uncle of who disgraziata, that Shunda Michael Cohen. That's right, Michael Cohen is doing all kind of press conferences today, attacking Trump because Trump is in town to give his economic policy. Hey, Dr. Martin Levine, fix that property, sell it, or take a wrecking ball to it. You think I'd forget your El Caribe after they shot me 5 times? Little Nick Carrazzo, your silent partner, paid off my shooter, Michael Iannati, and said, you did a good job, but you should have killed him. I will never forgive. I will never forget. Dr. Martin Levine, you are a slumlord. Get back to Schenectady Avenue J and either sell the property, fix the property, or knock it out and take those 4-legged rats with you to your house in Long Island. Woo!